Okie doke. Next little video. These videos I'm going to do, they're not really long or anything. They're just going to be very encouraging and positive messages to get out to vote. And this one's in general for everyone. The very most important thing you need to remember, whether it's an election or not, is that you have a voice that counts, a voice that matters. Because I can tell you this, the times I went to the Capitol, city and everything, the lawmakers would always tell me they wanted to hear from those in the traumatic brain injury community, because I live with a traumatic brain injury. That was the community I was trying to represent and everything. And they wanted to hear from others with traumatic brain injury. And so I was trying to get everybody else in the TBI community to speak out and get their voices heard. So if you have a TBI, you live in Oklahoma, speak up, please. They want to hear your voices. You really need to anyways, especially with things are going. Once this election is over with, these elected officials are going to need to know what matters to you. Really need to know, because how are they going to know how to do if they're doing it right, what's going wrong, if we're just going down the slumps. What you do is, once you find out who your elected official is, get their contact information, put it down in a address book, whatever that thing is called, on the computer that you have for email, and keep track of the legislation that they're both writing and supporting. And one thing that is really encouraging, you can be and I know this, what I'm fixing to say, I know this because I've done all of the above. I was asked to do research on traumatic brain injury and everything, and don't remember exactly how it went, but I wrote a paper on traumatic brain injury and stuff. And former state representative Danny Morgan ended up writing a resolution that recognized volunteers who help traumatic brain injury survivors. And then something else you can do is either draft resolutions and send it to lawmakers, or draft pieces of legislation. And I've drafted two resolutions that got adopted unanimously by the House of Representatives. One made the entire month of March TBI Raiders Month, and then the other one made the third week of March TBI Raiders Week. And then the third one was a piece of legislation I wrote that failed twice and got to rework on it to get it through a third time. Hopefully, fingers crossed. It's to create a statewide program to help traumatic brain injury survivors with their education, employment, and advocacy and everything. And I wrote it after looking through all 50 pieces of legislation all 50 states have passed. And backtrack before I even got into writing all that and everything. How I came up with it was I met with Lieutenant Governor Lamb back in 2012 at his office and asked him what the state was doing to help traumatic brain injury survivors. Point blank, he said nothing. So I asked him what needed to be done, platform, everything else. And so he told me, and I got into looking what other states were doing. Then I got involved in the Oklahoma Intercollegiate Legislature, learned how legislation is written, learned the process and everything. And then I think the piece of legislation that eventually became, this last time it went through, that fell through committee was 1612. I think Jason Smalley was the one that helped me go finalize everything. think Jason Smalley was the one that helped me with everything on finalizing the stuff. And because it's either, because when it comes to looking through bills, finalizing and drafting and stuff, I either go to Emily Virgin, Corey Williams, or Jason Smalley about it. And so got that and failed twice, and so I've got to go through third time. And so, and fortunately, you can't see who I'm voting for because I'm wanting to keep this all strictly bipartisan. So, and so once you keep track of who they're both writing and what bills they're writing and the bills that they're supporting, you can get to know, and you can write, call, message, go to the Capitol, visit with them, let them know your concerns. And when I say write, call, don't yammer and get mad and say did this and that. To some extent, if you say, oh, I'm not, if you get real angry with them, it's going to turn them off, or they're just going to stop listening to you. But be like constructive with them and talk to them, person to person. As one great person that I used to go to for advice, former President Cook at Rose State College. I went to speak with him before I went to the Capitol one time. I forgot who I was. I was going to go meet with and talk to about stuff. I wasn't kind of nervous about it. He gave me the simple best voice. He was like, they're just average people. They're not high authority or anything. They're just average, ordinary people that are trying to do a job to better help Oklahoma. So that's all you really need to focus on, is giving them advice, and just go in there and talk to them like they're your average neighbor, and you're talking to them about your concerns. And you're just trying to create a better Oklahoma. So that is my piece.